Morning, Matt here. Today's video, quick how-to and a fun race car conversion. Let's go. If you're watching our race videos, you know we're driving out the slalom, and so far we actually had a good result, which means we're building another race car. When I say building, again, not much of a building, just a setup. What this car will be getting is Bilstein B8 suspension, original Twingo RS springs, and bucket seat. Now, why are we calling this a race car? Because we're racing stock class, and that's about as much as we can do. On top of that, the car will be getting the tires. We don't have those yet. We can use the mini ones if we want. But yeah, let's get the suspension sorted and then try to fit the seat in. Of course, we will start with the back of the car, which is beautiful. My brother's handiwork, my handiwork. So yeah. Oh, the other brother also had some work in it, like here and here somewhere. But yeah, we all crashed this car at one point. Actually, I wasn't driving that car when I crashed it, but whatever, you get the picture. Let's lift the rear and, well, change the springs and the shocks. That's the easy one. Okay, car is in the air. Now we need to remove the spring. To remove the spring, we will undo the bolt on the shock, but since we are changing the shocks to Bilsteins, as I said, we'll also have to undo the shock from the inside. But let's start with this. This, I think, is a 16. We'll just use a rattle gun. If you're just doing the springs, that will do. If you're doing the shocks, then we move to the inside. Here we will first drop the seats. We have a bit of place to work with. Then we'll remove that. And that, I think, is a 16. And if this starts to happen, then you're in trouble. If that didn't work, you just use, I think it's a 6, and then undo everything. But yeah, the shock is now out. So, RS cup spring. This is how you know it, purple, and on the front it's purple and yellow. And this is the stock one, which we need to use this and this from. So now we'll put that on. Like that. And this goes on that. That's it. There is a locating pin, which of course you put into this locating hole. And now I need a jack to jack this up and support it with the... This is a Bilstein B8. It's just painted black for, well, legality purposes, but yeah, you can see the yellow showing through. Now, since this is not an independent rear suspension design, we'll just put some pressure on it here, like that. And now I'll do the other side, because if I put this on, because the shock is shorter and the spring is shorter, I'll make a lot of tension on the other side, and it won't be as easy to get the spring out as it was on this side. So let's take that one apart, and then we'll lift this up and put it all back together. Now, in the meantime, I had the other side mostly done. It's ready to go on, as is this one. So we'll just lift the rear beam. And that's basically it. Now we just need to do it on the other side. We bolt this in and torque it to whatever is written down there. Because I never do these things, I always do them by hand. Don't be me. Do as I say, not as I do, because the shit's so deep you can't run away. Back to differ, on the contrary. Agree with every word that you say. And that's how you do it if your rattle gun doesn't work. Actually, this is the better way to do it because you're not damaging the shock. But it's also a bit slower. But hey, all in all, if I wasn't filming, this job is about like 10 minutes. With every single shit included, so not really that hard or long. But yeah, now let's switch to the fronts. To get to the fronts, we need to get here, which means we need to take all of this apart. But to take this apart, first we need to take these off. So a 16, take that off. To remove this plastic, first we'll remove this plastic. And once like that, from the other side. Now we need to remove this. Now, this. Actually, this will be in the way too. Don't need that where we're going. And then this. So now all that's left is Torx T20. 1, 2, 3. So now we'll take this off. There are tabs down there. There are tabs out here. So I have to use 2 hands not to break stuff. See, these tabs, you need to watch out. No, this one just fell out. That's good. And this one just fell out. Nope, actually broke that one. But yeah, you need to watch out. Get it up over this lip and then pull it towards the front so they slide out and don't break. We have upper mount, that's a 21 or 22, something like that, probably 22. We'll undo these. And we also have to, well, jack up the car, take off the wheel, and undo what's inside. Now all we have to undo here, first pull this ABS sensor out. We have to undo these 2 bolts, and that's basically it. And then we switch to the upper position. These are 18s. And now the lower part is disassembled. All that's left to do is this. And that should be a 21. Bingo. Undone. And now to maneuver this out. We're out. This is a 27, but the socket is not long enough. So let's do it with this. Otherwise I wouldn't have to even do anything. And this was, as you saw, dangerous because I didn't compress the spring and I didn't watch out because I was filming and talking. But whatever. These springs are not under that much tension, so you will be able to do it either way. Now all that's left to do is put the new shock and spring back together. Of course, you will need to reuse this part for the spring. Again, purple and yellow. These are RS Cup springs. These ones are not in the best of the conditions, but they will do. And as I mentioned, they are a bit shorter, so we actually get a bit lower with this car. And now we've done that. Put this in. And this is where I could use some help. Someone to hold this pressed. But okay. Alright, now we have it started, now it should go easily. And we'll just bolt it as tight as we can and then put it on the car. So see you then. Had it placed in the top mount. And that's because I'm lazy and I don't want to use another jack, but usually with the other jack you would get this in a way easier. And again, you tighten it to the specs written down there, which let's say I'll be doing. Now everything is mostly back together. The car is lower to the ground. As I mentioned, the front end stays about the same. We need to drive it a bit, then it will hunker down a bit. But before that, time to put the plastics back in. So as I mentioned, point is to go down low and towards the back like that until it sits in here like that, and then like that, and that's it. I'll just put it all back together and we're done with the shocks and springs. Then we need to do the alignment, play with it a bit to set it up for the semi-slicks, but before that I think we'll put in a bucket seat. So the freaking seat is mounted from underneath, which means I need to jack up the car and remove a bunch of stuff from underneath to get to the seat. How to tell you're not working on the BMW? Even though these are tightened from below, it's the ease of access that gets me. Just remove a rubber here and there's a fucking hole here. If it was a BMW, you would have to remove the exhaust, then remove the heat shield, and then you'd get to the seats. Now either way, I'm going to take off these 4 bolts, nuts, whatever, and take the seat out, and then we'll see what we can do. If you're here for a how-to part of the video, well then you're done, because this is now a DIY piece of shit with welding and grinding and everything. But yeah, we're taking apart the seat for now. This and 2 of these on the other side, and then we'll have the sliders and we'll build from there. Just a quick pick of what we have mashed up. Actually, let me show you that in the car. And that's how it goes.
This will be mounted here like that, something like that, and we shall be done. So as I said, I need to weld this all up, clean it up, paint it black, bolt it in, bolt the seat in, and we're done. This is now completely finished. We're waiting for it to dry out. Once it's dried out, we'll mount it into the car and we'll have a bucket seat in the car. And here we have it. It's mounted. Don't mind this, I cannot get this out, but I don't need that, so it can stay here like a permanent, I don't know, screw or something. It's screwed in, so no worries there. It's screwed in here and here, and this also works, and it's adjustable. So yeah, I'm liking it. It's done, and this car with that suspension done and this seat done is mostly race ready. All we need now is tires, but we don't have tires. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to give it a like, share, subscribe to see how this car does in the race. And well, for now this is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!